Introduction, written by Dr. Nizar Dandash, Professor of Physics, University of NSW, Sydney, Australia. In the introduction to the book, The Absolute Truth. The development of science in any historical era is evidence of the maturity of humanity in that era. If science is a formulation of what we call natural laws, then it holds no significance without the human being capable of understanding and utilizing it. Despite the fact that the existence of science is to serve humanity, there is a dialectical relationship between the two. As science advances, its discoveries help humanity mature and evolve. Likewise, as the level of humanity progresses, there is greater respect for science, leading to more investment from human resources in the development of scientific research. However, as science progresses, the need for internal moral oversight increases, which is essential for the uprightness of humanity and the facilitation of interaction among the peoples of the world, whose interactions have been made easier by technological advancements. This oversight provides many values, the most important of which is religion, particularly the religion that promotes love, coexistence, and equality among people. Many scientists have found that their scientific progress has led them to a greater belief in the power of the Creator. The idea of fearing for religion from science is fundamentally flawed. Science has greatly served religion at the hands of those deeply knowledgeable in both fields, and Galileo was neither the first nor the last victim. How many scholars and wise men in the East have faced execution, imprisonment, and exile? And how many scientists have been weakened and discredited by assemblies, even in this day and age? Heavenly religions do not fear science, but rather encourage and support it, and there are many testimonies to this. Some even say that the pursuit of scientific knowledge complements the virtues of religious exploration and the virtue of martyrdom for the sake of God. However, some opponents of religious ideas and some false claimants of religion have persistently tried to portray science as the opposite of religion and to depict religion as an enemy of science. The successes of science should not lead to arrogance, as science is not a substitute for religion for countless reasons. Similarly, the lack of scientific culture among some religious figures should not result in a negative reaction towards science and its outcomes. Modern science is still with us and has only achieved a small fraction of what needs to be accomplished. However, we should not exploit its weaknesses. Rather, we must support it to the best of our ability. We must recognize that science is sometimes exploited for political, commercial, and other purposes, and that some of the most significant scientific discoveries remain secret for military reasons. If followers of science are working in the field of weapons development, we must strive to reconcile science with its future. The book in our hands is an attempt by the author to successfully demonstrate the relationship and integration between religion and science and to organize this relationship in the mind of the reader, who may have been confused by contradictory reports. Religion is the language through which humans communicate with their Creator, while science is the language through which they communicate with nature. The holy books are not books of physics, chemistry, or natural sciences, nor do they claim to be such. However, they provide their guidance and instructions where necessary and leave the task of researching the details to science. The author has explained this idea using evidence derived from the holy books and has, for the first time, revealed some of the details that were mentioned in the Torah and the Quran about the theory of evolution and the relativity of time and space. This work, which is before us, is more than just a book. It is a comprehensive report on the religious, scientific, ideological, and to some extent political situation. The author summarizes in it the results of science, the essence of religion, and the essence of ancient civilizations, and the myths of peoples in a comprehensive style that brings together the most important sources of knowledge, extracting the common denominator among them all. The author is not a scientist, but he possesses a wide scientific and religious culture. He spent several years collecting as much useful information as possible to present it to the reader, deserving every appreciation. He has been committed to honesty and integrity in conveying the information based on his convictions, offering it to the reader for critique and analysis. Notably, in this great work, the reader can sense the author's empathy and kindness in his discussions, making it feel as though the book was dedicated to close acquaintances. Given the vast content of this work and the richness of its ideas, it is impossible for the reader to agree with everything presented. However, it is certain that any reader, regardless of their level of education, will find new ideas within it and will gain significant benefits from reading it. They will be drawn to bold ideas they have never heard before and will read about ancient civilizations that have been forgotten, extinct languages, the wisdom of the Egyptians, the secrets of the pyramids, the history of the universe, and other fascinating information. Most importantly, we find ourselves in front of a unified and self-consistent theory that explains the perplexing mysteries based on logic and aligns with the words of God. What draws attention is that the author, who is highly enthusiastic about all heavenly religions, did not take a negative stance towards myths. He did not dismiss them, recognizing them as the heritage of peoples for thousands of years. Instead, he saw them as an extension of the past for religions and found in them seeds of belief in God. He also explored faith in the sciences and in Greek philosophy, discussing the relationship between Greek philosophy and religions, explaining how Greek philosophers predicted the appearance of messengers from God to clarify important matters. He shows that the first seeds of knowledge among the Egyptians, Greeks, and others might have come to them from God, perhaps through the soldiers of angels. The author has diligently studied the Torah and the Quran, and his call is to enlighten scholars with religious teachings and to abandon them so that religious figures can embrace the correct and advanced scientific culture, thus preventing curiosity about certain matters from hindering the comprehensive understanding of the relationship between religion and science. The book in our hands is a cohesive and complete work that cannot be fully understood by starting from the beginning without reading the end. The picture only becomes complete when all its parts are understood. It is indeed an intellectual revolution and a qualitative leap in the works of immigrant thinkers.